Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Welcome back to Supreme Chief Holiday Channel. This is Lotus Television. Once again, going in and sharing some very interesting information that was said by none other than Claude. And he says we wait for a good brother Chief Holiday to get back in. Yeah, can you believe it?
Peace, peace.
Peace,
Lotus,
man.
what's up, man? How you doing, man?
All is well, man. All is good out here in Indian Land, Indiana, doing my thing. How's everything out there, brother?
Hey, man, life is great, man. Out here and I call it the number one city on the planet, Las Vegas, Nevada. But yeah, man, peace to all the great ones tuned in, man. How everybody doing tonight?
That's right.
That's what's up. Shout out to all the great people in the great state of Indiana, man. Yeah, Hoosier State. What's cracking, man? There's a lot going on. A lot to talk about, man. You know, Lotus, we ain't did a show in a minute, huh? It's late night too, man. It's East Coast. What you doing up this late?
Man, I had a long day at work, got off late, and shoot, wanted to go in on this topic because it was a lot mentioned by Claude Anderson, so I wanted to go in with the family for an hour or two, share with the brothers to see and get of course, get the chat's opinion, and man, might have to do a couple polls on the stuff that was said. There was a lot of stuff said,
Yeah,
man.
man.
You
I
know,
mean, he dropped some bombshells in there. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne's they just sat back and just let him just listen, man. They was like, you know, students just listening to a professor. You know, I'm saying that I want to say this, y'all. I think there's one of the best interviews, um, important interviews that's ever happened on the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, though, y'all, um, bliggity black, bliggity black, I'm black and I'm proud, right? Is an issue. Like pushing that narrative, y'all. It just, you have an important message and you pushing an important agenda, right? Or you're saying some things or whatever. When you push the black white paradigm, it still plays along with the psychological caste system, the psychological warfare, the economic embargoes, and everything else that goes along with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it's really about, y'all. So that would be my only problem, man. Is using words of power. You know what I'm saying? So when we calling ourselves black, once again, like we said, we're always there, and then calling somebody a white man and putting certain things out there in the air that plays along with the caste system. So yeah, so I wanted to say that, man, and just the thing that stood out to me about the whole interview. He said, y'all know I don't like numbers, man, because numbers are a little absolute. Not 97.8. Oh, 98. He said 98% of Black Americans were already here before anybody else came here, and they just enslaved the people that they found when they came here. That is a goddamn fact. The majority of us were already here. Now, Dr. Claude Anderson is 85 years old. Hey, Lotus, man, before I go ahead, man, because like I said, it was a very lot to talk about, and we're gonna have to break it down, man. What's going on? You know what I mean? But peace to you though, bro. You got the floor.
oh yeah, man. There's some key things said even before the statement about 98% of Black Americans were here before anyone else got here. That Barack Obama had given out all this money. Now, if we do all the steps, take all those steps that it takes to achieve this money that's just floating out there, it literally defeats reparations and all the other stuff. But it seems that, as I mentioned 3 weeks to a month ago, on here is that we have watched this group posing to be us go and completely collect. And we're sitting with absolute access to this money. Now, the thing is, it's you think you're gonna go to a bank and say, "I'm Indian, where my money at?" You're not gonna get a dollar. It's some steps in the ways that the way these things are handled. And for me to hear Claude Anderson say that he has like a case going on with this, that people need to get behind that and support it. It's so important to understand this. This information that Claude Anderson released, that not only do we have that access to those funds, and there's been a people portraying to be us that have access to those funds and are using it. And there's a whole other story behind that too, as well, with the way that people are treated and living on the reservations. But for us, it's intelligence and all these things and knowledge uh, of being segregated into the system of the people who are not us, and to not understand exactly how to achieve access to those funds, that money, and access to these things. Uh, you can't just go to a bank, and you would have to approach that which is holding those funds. How do we go about that? Claude Anderson spoke on it, and it would take much more. And I'm pretty sure he has it in a couple of his books on exactly which steps. And if that's what Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson, with 6 degrees, was talking about, and for me to hear him mention we need to get back to our resources. So not only is he talking about, oh, he actually knows about a treaty, that he has a case going on along with that, and that they all know that the treaty was for us. But then Barack Obama is giving. I probably have to say this a couple more times so everyone can really understand that Barack Obama gave to the ones that he gave it to, and that the money's still out there. So it's like, what can we do to get it? What do we have to go to? Do we have to go through the people who were giving it first? We have to answer to whoever Barack Obama appointed for us to answer to in order to achieve it. How do we go about it, and what do we do with it? So, man, that might it not might. It's going to take a team of us to really pursue this. Because if I need $1 million just so I can have, I don't know, 8 to 10 3D printing machines, I could have a 3D printing machine that prints houses and everything needed for houses. That 3D print an airport and everything on the airport, helicopters, airplanes, boats, jets, all the pieces to it, assemble it as is where it needs to be assembled. All these different technologies and things that are available now, let alone all the little knickknacks, intelligence, many call it gray products, all these different things that we have to go to someone else and spend our money, where, as mentioned, also that by 7 o'clock, the neighborhood, our hood, is in debt. That means we're broke. We have money in the morning, but then we're broke every day as a community because the funds are not circling. So if we can get a hold of this money, we're gonna have to establish a way to keep it in the community. So many might just say, "Oh, let's go get this. Let's get this land. We're just gonna grow some food and all that." It's gonna take more than that. It's gonna take more than that. Everybody doesn't want that simple life. People, they want more. Somebody has plans and futures and dreams that's gonna cost more than just doing that. Some people want generational wealth. You know, They want some wealth that's gonna last on to many generations after they have passed on. They go to their ancestors. So it's key to know that this Dr. Claude Anderson can mention these things and then end the show with we were already here. And this is something that we need to hop on as soon as possible or apply it to whatever we are doing. To find a way to really do these things, really establish this. How do we go about it? Because it's been mentioned too many times. I remember when Barack Obama passed it. He was giving them billions of dollars, up to trillions of dollars. So there's trillions of dollars available. Like, wait a minute, how is he giving away all this money, but we're in debt to all these other countries, trillions of dollars? What's going on here? Somebody not telling me something? So there's going to be a big change all across the board, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, good brother Chief.
Yeah, man. Something that was, like you said, he's 85 years old, right? So he said when he grew up, um, he grew up in Winston Salem, North Carolina, and he said his family owned the bus line there, and they own cab companies and all this other stuff, right? And what was crazy, like in restaurants and hotels and theaters, this is in North Carolina, y'all. Okay, all right. But the crazy part about it is we had economy across America, and this is 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, right? Now it's very key between 1920 and 1950. Something happened between 1920 and 1950. Okay, same time period we had the so-called Negro League. Okay, same time period when they're starting up their leagues. Okay, ours went down, theirs went up. Our pharmacies went down, the Walgreens is up. Our grocery stores went down, you have Smith's. Our chicken place went down, you have Kentucky Fried Chicken. Y'all get where I'm going with this. Now he said something that was crazy as hell. Y'all know I be like that white ice is colder, right? He said that when these people were boycotting to sit on the front of the bus, right? On the front of the bus in Alabama and Atlanta, right? He said that once that went through, he said the blacks in North Carolina wanted to ride on the white buses now because they could ride in the front of the white buses when they already had their own buses. Y'all understand what I'm saying? He said that he was observed a guy go over and look at a bag of ice in a black place, right? In a black establishment, put the bag of ice back in the bin, went right across the street to the so-called white establishment, bought the ice, right? So he asked him, he said, "Brother, why did you buy that? Why did you buy the ice?" He said that because white ice is smoother. So he was like, "Yo, not only is it colder, but it's smoother too." You know what I'm saying? So that was crazy. You know, I'm saying that, yo. You already gone, bro? So yeah, that's just a crazy thing, y'all. That we had an economy, right, in the 1900s. So this is not like a long time ago. We can go back and we can, kind of look into this, right? And so, they were talking about, we were talking about integration, right? And he was like, at this particular time, integration hurt the so-called black businesses because people now could integrate and go into other businesses, right? So they said that you integrated without a plan, you integrated socially, but you didn't integrate economically. Well, they did integrate economically. That's just a fact. They did integrate economically, and they integrated and took over economically while getting government handouts and things like that, land grants and stuff, where people were getting billions of acres of land for free. So they're giving away our ancestral lands here, whatever. Now y'all gotta understand they're giving away the best lands, the lands that's on the ports, the land is on the waters, the land is, the best trading areas. You know what I'm saying? Our ports, the coastlines, and things like that, or whatever. Right? These are the most, you, some of the most valuable places because if you own in the ports, you own in the trade and things that come through there. That's just what that is. So you can benefit off the revenue and things like that. So, yeah, so they took over the trade lines, and that's really what it was really about. Is really taking over the economic, taking over the resources, right? So he talks about resources, right? Resources, like when we talked about the Coyotes, the Las Vegas Mopar Coyotes, right? These people are getting into one of the largest solar harnessing facilities, you know what I'm saying, created. You know what I mean? So they're getting into harnessing the sun, right? Harnessing energy. That's a resource, right? That is a resource, brothers and sisters. Harnessing the sun is a resource. You be there to utilize that for energy. You're creating jobs, right? Peace and prosperity, right? That's what you're doing when you're coming up with these ideas. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about controlling the resources. I think harnessing the sun is definitely something that we should be looking into, y'all. Load you back. So what else we got? So yeah, we gotta step up and we gotta start thinking you know differently. Now he said he has took a shot. He didn't say by name, but it was kind of when Charlamagne asked him about people doing reparations and stuff, right? Um, Nothing I don't agree with. Whatever anybody else is doing, you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have a problem, what they got going on, whether they Johnny come latelys or whatever the case may be. Maybe you inspire something that somebody was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get into that aspect of it or whatever. Like I said, to be able to own Charlamagne and them happen to tear down or talk about anybody else, to validate my greatness. You know what I'm saying? So that was all. I didn't like that wasn't a good look. Dr. Anderson, the black thing wasn't a good look. Saying bliggity black a million times, black this, black that, black this, black that. Right. So when you're going to the 1866 treaties and this Bill of Rights, right? The Civil Bill of Rights, right? We talk about civil rights. He was like, well, that's not for black folks, right? Yeah, nothing's for black folks. Black was a condition. It's not a race. It was a condition to put a people into a class system, right? So it's interesting how these things get blurred. But they talk about Reconstruction. I'm like, Reconstruction era, that goes from 1865 to roughly what 75, right? What, 65, 75, right? A 10-year period, time period span or whatever, right? So and after that time period, right, 1875, what happened? More immigrants were coming into this country, becoming wealthy because they're getting land. Okay, the land is wealth, especially in a agricultural based society, right? Like think about it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you back? Like that? Okay. So in an agricultural based society, what's key? Land, and obviously, labor is a part of having land. So, you know, um, if you're a landowner, whatever, now then you got to worry about labor, right? Now, fast forward into today, when we look at our businesses, right, or our economy is completely gone. You literally have, think about this, yo. Ours went down while everybody else's economy, foreigners, came into this country and came up to where they're building skyscrapers, marinas, so on and so forth, right? So Asians, Arabs, everybody can come to this country and come up within an economy that was already built by us. Do y'all get it? But nobody, I mean, nobody wants to provide labor for our economy. Okay, this is the key. This is the key to everything. And if it's this is not by accident that nobody works for us. Nobody. We don't work for us. We don't work for us. You know, yeah, those are we don't want to work for each other. You know, we don't want to work for us. We rather go work for people outside of, different Europeans or different foreign people who come into this country. We'd rather work for them than work for our people. But guess what? They don't want to work for us either. So that tells you that there must be something wrong with working, laboring, serving other people in other communities. Do y'all get that? Do y'all understand that? This is shit's crazy. So I just think that's weirdo shit. Load you back.
Yeah, man.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know if you heard anything I was saying. I said a lot about what was going on in the interview, but some things that we need to talk about when it comes to, we have a 1920 to 1950 time period where the economy was taken. You know what I'm saying? This economy was taken, right? So, you got anything on that when we talk about like from um,
Oh, the Federal Reserve coming into play.
I mean, talk about all that. Like, I mean, a lot of the policies and stuff like that, or whatever, from the Federal Reserve Acts and stuff like that happened between 1950s and 1920 and 1930. Negro League,
Right.
stuff like that, our economy, stuff like all these things. The cities around we had an economy. So, kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, uh, just off the top with that, you have damn, what's it called? The Great Depression. It's very interesting that we had a barter system, agrarian system that even led past the 30s. We have all these supermarkets, but even in my grandmother's time, they didn't have supermarkets. Like they grew most of their stuff, or they had families that had gardens. So this money that we use today, this promissory note that we have, there's a whole story, behind everybody knows it technically. I'll break down some of the technical stuff, but the ultimate outcome was this completely destroyed a lot of things. Uh, a lot of things, which caused segregation. Same time with segregation, and yeah, but also what Claude Anderson mentioned that there wasn't the same amount of effort being put into our schools, and that education should be last on a list at the same time. So it's kind of like, okay, so when you get back to this 1920 situation, you have all these movements starting. You have a lot of snake oil organizations coming into play, and some of them still exist today in many forms. And we have this currency, this Federal Reserve Act. I'm trying to remember exactly what year. Hold on. What year this system was? I might say this off. Oh yeah, it's a little before 1920s, but that's when it kicks off. But it's something that happens. There we go. Great Depression, Great Recession. Yeah, it went from depression to recession, and you can really tell the difference. Let me find this information on this real quick. There we go. 1846 to 1921, we have the independent treasury system. But even once you get shared to the end of that, even if 1846, you have 1862, the free banking era. So just touching some very important things with this currency, this might be an approach that many have not taken when looking up this. So I'll share with the family. Uh, you don't even have to dig, search real hard. You can, of course, you want to get the deep stuff in it. You want to see the actual documents. And yeah, but you can look up the timeline of central banking in the United States. And all you have to do is get to the part where it says independent treasury system. But you want to start with uh, national banks, and then Federal Reserve, because these are the systems that were in place. So you can see the systems that were knocked out and how this Federal Reserve, this present system, came about. Let's see. Um, all right, the charter was for 20 years and expired in 1811 under President Madison. And of course, I'm leaving off at a certain point. So to get to this whole part, it just needs to be spoken. And this is just getting to 1811. So for the family, look that up. But the focus here is the free banking area. So it says, let me pull it up, let the family see it. You go on Trickopedia, where they play tricks on you. Because even on Trickopedia, they don't want to give you all the details to it, but they're going to give you enough to get to what you need to get to. So I mean, all you have to look up is the Federal Reserve. And if these are the ones who create the system, it's like, okay, so whatever it was that we consider reparations or the treaties in 1866, what mint or note or barter system, what was used uh, prior to that time and through that time. I think I'm going too fast. Hold on, y'all. So in this period of time, yeah, where's it at? Yes. So, yeah. Man, what the hell? All right, so we're in the Federal Reserve. We get down to the history, which I'm trying to get to. About to get to it right now. All right, in the history, you see the timeline of central banking in the United States and the period, which was mentioned by Claude Anderson in 1866. That would mean that you have the 1846 to 1921 independent treasury system. And let's see here what it got for us. It says the independent treasury was a system for managing the money supply of the United States federal government through the U.S. United States Treasury and its sub treasuries independently of the national banking and financial system. So it was created on August 6, 1846, by the 29th Congress with the enactment of, and it goes on, and that means it's only from that specific Congress. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, independent treasury. That one ends in 1921. So before that one ends, they switched up this on us, and it's the National Banking Act of 1863, providing loans in the Civil War effort of the Union, included provisions. So immediately during this period, this National Banking Act of 1863 is connected to the damn Civil War. So this is what happened with that. Let's take a step back and think what's going on with all these movements uh, popping up out of nowhere. You see the Federal Reserve System, they won't let you click on that. The source, Chairman Alan Greenspan. That's right, Alan Greenspan, our banking history. So right here, Wikipedia can get to the source of it. It says History of the Federal Reserve, federalreserve.org, Chapter 1, Early Experiments in Central Banking. So this is an experiment process going on. So when it comes to the leaders in this time of the 1920s, let's see what we got. In the 1920s, what would okay, we went over that. What would be the agenda? As mentioned, my mother's mother, they had all their own food. They had animals, they had barns, farms. I don't know what the hell we've been thinking of for the last 60 years what we've been doing, but it seems to be in, the falling process of what happened in the 1920s and the 1930s. But I look at it as a whole. Some might just look at it from, oh, what we were doing as a collective. I look at it as the whole system, what was happening, because no matter what, if we stepped away from the barter or agrarian culture, we protect in the free banking area, the free banking area, independent treasury system, or the National Banking Act. So when you fall under the National Banking Act, you have to deal with this. You know what I'm saying that National Banking Act of 1863 and 1864 were two United States federal banking acts that established a system of national banks and created the United States national banking system and encouraged development of national currency backed by bank holdings of United States as in U.S. Treasury securities. So those same people that have to handle the securities for some mystical, magical reason starts to panic. And it says here during which series of bank panics? 1873. Look at that. 1873. Look at that. And they out there tripping. Oh, come on now. Really? Oh man, they gonna make me click on it, huh? That's dirty. We get it anyway. Got him. Almost got him. Hold on, family. Let me get this. Oh, they dirty. They make sure I can't get it all. All right, hold on, y'all. See, I want everybody to see it, so I just gotta reduce my screen a little. Yeah, man, to go all the way back up here. All right, y'all. One moment. You with me, Chief? Yeah. All right. Yeah, see, they can't play me that time. All right, the Panic of 1873, the financial crisis that triggered an economic depression in Europe and North America that lasted from 1873 until 1877, and even longer in France and Britain. In Britain, for example, it started 2 decades of stagnation known as the Long Depression. And they're going to say that weakened some whatever. Okay. Panic of 1893 was a series of economic depressions in the United States that began in 1893. So they only tell you about that Great Depression. They didn't tell you that it was all this, that were, all these things going on. Some know about it, but you know what I'm saying? We all know about it. Okay, so 1893 and ended in 1897. It deeply affected every sector of the economy and produced political upheaval that led to the realigning election of 1896 and the presidency of William McKinley. Y'all look that name up. Know who these suckers are. All right. So, see it here. What's going on here? The panic, also known as the 1907 Bankers. Ah, Panic or Knickerbocker Crisis. Yeah, very interesting name. Was a financial crisis that took place in the United States over a 3 week period starting in mid October when the New York Stock Exchange fell almost 50% from its peak previous year. So everybody who had all that stock, so instead of controlling all your resources, focusing on the land and everything you can do and everything you want and everything you need, people were putting all this money in stock. So instead of, well, anyway, y'all get the point. But that's just barely getting to the basics of it, the history of it. Um, so you see, they got coat of arms connected to it, seals, Federal Reserve symbol. You all seen this before. It's on your dollar bill. All right, we went over the 1907 panic. The financial panics. Let me see. Let me see. A certain one I need. Yeah, this is a key thing to look up to is that President Woodrow Wilson signed the bill later that day. What bill did he sign? Let's see. It's the Federal Reserve Act. And the House voted on December 22nd, 1913, with 298 voting yes, 260 voting no. The Senate voted 43 out of 25 on December 23rd, and that was in 1913. So it took 2 days. President Woodrow Wilson signed the bill later that day, 1913. So then you have it in the paper right here. So you see what's going on with every that's leading up, what's dealing with the money into the 1930s. That's what really changed us. Because if you also look into the details of it, that we're running numbers, and what were we exchanging for being the one that won those numbers that were ran? They're exchanging Federal Reserve notes, obviously, at that time. So you get to the key things that in our community, if you've seen the movie Hoodlum, we were running numbers and gambling and hustling, betting on things. But of course, we had to have a way of making money. So there are certain things that we did. So it's like during that period, it's like a crossroad between the greatest mistakes that we made in our own communities. Yeah, I hadn't even gotten to 1920. Oh, now, here goes a very, very important thing that a lot of people will just skip over, and it's the Wall Street crash of 1929. I'm just playing. Yeah, most people don't go over this. Actually, most people know about it. They just don't know what to call it. So the Glass-Steagall legislation described four provisions of the United States Banking Act of 1933 separating commercial and investment banking. So they had to separate the two, really. The article 1933 Banking Act described the entire law, including the legislative history of the provisions covered here, as the Glass-Steagall Act of Steagall, the Glass-Steagall Act of 1932. The common name comes from the names of the congressional sponsors, Senator Carter Glass and Representative Henry B. Steagall. So these two people right here, these two, you see what he looked like. You know what I'm saying? That's your buddy. Once you allowed it, see what he looked like. You know what I mean? You got the pedophile look, of course. Somebody you wouldn't leave your children in with. All right. Let's see the importance on it, and that leads to the '60s family. So I mean, on the financial part, you see what happened, but you know, it's like what was a driving force behind all the stuff we were doing, and what led to that point? One might only be able to express an opinion or not. See, I got you back in. I didn't even know you were out. All right, Chief, I got you back in. And shoot, I gotta go do something real quick. I see the chat lit. That's what's up. So, all right, I got you back in, Chief.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Peace. Peace and love to all American Aborigines. Troopers in the building. Hey, man, shout out to my mama. Shout out to my cousin Tasha. They probably tuned in, y'all. I gotta mind my manners.
I
But
feel
no, then this is so you getting into the Federal Reserve and kind of breaking down. Like y'all gotta kind of understand, like, every 4 years, every 8 years, and it's even every 2 years or so in the states and counties and things like that. But you have different administrations, right? So you had different people who were literally put in office by some of these clandestine organizations. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be clear. You know what I'm saying? And they were funding a lot of things. So when we're talking about the Carnegies and the the oil barons, the railroad people, and all these other people, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people manipulated a lot of the elections, right? So of course, if you got certain people getting putting certain people into certain offices and doing certain things, they're gonna obviously administer things that would benefit them and their cronies. That's just that's how that works, right? So a lot of things that have happened to America put America in a depression. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to talk about that. Becoming a part of the World Bank and IMF and all that type of stuff or whatever. So we're talking the Federal Reserve and things of that nature. It gets kind of crazy, but everything is intertwined, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So when we're talking about Dr. Claude Anderson, um, he's using black, right, as a descriptive, not only as a descriptive term, but as a social political construct. We still use it against ourselves, and that's a problem. So I kind of wanted to break that down a little bit too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like um, his interview a little bit more. I don't know if you got into that once you got back. So I don't know how far you got into that.
About him using the word black.
Oh no, just anything, just whatever. I hadn't heard what you had got into. I just came in. You was
Oh
in.
no, I just on the Federal Reserve how like well we didn't have that money system that we have today. Before those times, those three periods where Federal Reserve Act comes into play, and the people who pushed it all the way through was Henry Baskin Stiegel and or Stegel. He's silly with his last name. It's a weird last name. So and Carter Glass. So you have these two people who are key figures to this system being created, and that means that when
Oh, you,
old,
you
if there is something owed to us, it would be from something prior to that type of you know paper being used as a monetary note or that monetary system we use today, that promissory note. So it would be more attached to resources, uh, geographical wealth, uh, geosurveying, the mineral deposits, anything that's produced on the land. It's more of an attachment to that. Like I mentioned earlier, Chief fell out. I mentioned earlier, you can't just go up to a bank, say I'm an Indian, I'm an Aboriginal, or I'm Cherokee, or I'm this tribe and all this. And I have this ID. Give me $1 million. Where's my money? It doesn't work like that. You're gonna have to take these steps. It's needed. I like the fact that he was hinting to it, but he didn't expound on it. Give you like if Claude Anderson would have gave everyone the details right then and there. This is what you do. Go get that money. We were here first. 98% of us. So that money, that's our money. And Barack Obama giving it to them. Well, no one stepped up. Barack Obama put that out. Nobody stepped up but the $5 Indians are the ones that took over, the descendants of the $5 Indians. And, we were supposed to step up. And that means the Federal Reserve, this thing that was created, that was pushed through by these two people who had other people who agreed with them. I believe it was like 260 something, if I'm not mistaken, that agreed, and 60 of them said no. Very weird. It's the 60 that said no. We don't want this, happening. And the larger group agreed. So there's some type of very odd thing with that as well. And during that time, our people had a system called running numbers. So that was a big time connection. But Chief fell out. I waited for Chief to get back in, y'all. Gotta run it for a minute. From the top. Yeah, I got you back in, Chief.
Yeah, man. So like I said, man, shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson, man. 85, still going hard in the paint. Um, Powernomics, You know what I'm saying? It's a great book when he talks about some of the stuff he's talking about. But here's the thing, right? Is Dr. Claude Anderson qualified, right, to speak on the things that he's speaking on? I think he is. I know he is, right? We're talking about a resume, right? When we put this brother's resume up, we say, well, damn, he had to remind us that he was the only one of us that has ever been in that position. So for me, I just say, like he deserves his mind, his wisdom, his you know what I'm saying? His experience is valued, right? Now, when we're talking about the first American Council, right? We're talking about the first American Agenda. We're talking about America First, Peace and Prosperity Conference, right? The things that we're doing, right? A lot of this stuff comes.
Damn. I don't know what happened. And that thing, it cut off in mid sentence. All right, waiting for Chief to get back in. Oh man. All right, we got Libra Sun in the building. Peace, brother. Good brother of the feather. We got start from the recent to the last. We bring Chief in. We got Future Teller in the building. What's good? PC brother. Peace,
Yeah, man.
Big
I don't
Chief.
know how long I got kicked off, but I was going in. Hey,
Yeah, it cut
man,
out
peace out. A great one
right
too,
away.
man. Oh shit. So yeah, man. So nah, man. You know what I'm saying. So a lot of the things that make us up are our experiences and all the things that we learn, man. And like I say, man, you chew the meat, spit out the bone, so to speak. So um, I don't know, man. Like I said, we all hands on deck at this point. So when it comes to Dr. Claude Anderson, like I said, that was one of the best, if not the absolute best interview the Breakfast Club has ever done. And just to recap, what we're saying is what would have made it even more of like like it was already, what I'm saying, a great interview, right? But what would have made it the absolute trifecta is if he would have replaced black with original, aboriginal. You know what I'm saying? Even when he's saying native, right? When he's saying native black Americans, right? Even when Dr. Claude Anderson, Yvette Carnell is saying ADOS, Tariq Nasheed is saying foundational black Americans, all that stuff comes from the movements and the things that we have been pushing from the Aborigine community. Period. And don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Don't let them say anything because it all comes back to your lineage, your birthright, which is this land, right? This is our land. We did not come here. We've never been brought here. And for him to say that 98%, right? Think about it, he's 85 years old. He's 85 years old. He is responsible for At some point, a lot of us weren't even born when he was over education of the state of Florida, and he was doing certain things, writing curriculum.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Right, right. You know what I'm saying? His resume, like some of the stuff he's saying, like he was even telling Charlamagne them about him dealing with Strom Thurmond, and then getting three black uh, circuit judges. You know what I'm saying? Federal judges appointed. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that he was saying, I hope it wasn't going over nobody's goddamn head. Because I mean, he's saying some stuff that we need to know. We're talking about, the first side of part of it is unity, right? Working together, peace and unity, peace and prosperity, right? The first level of the thing is us coming together, and that's what it's really about. And then he said, leasing, renting, or buying the politicians. We should be grooming our politicians, right? Grooming. Every the third day, you be like, yeah, you better be a great alderman. You know what I'm saying? You look at the boy and the girl and be like, they don't even know what this shit is. But we have to groom our own people to put our people in these positions. And we can't be like, oh, no. We can't be a part of of any progression or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't be a part of anything like that, which I think is it's crazy as hell to me. That we can't be a part of wanting to be mayors and governors. You know what I'm saying? Like we just been alienated away from our birthright, like because in some places around the country they were violating people's voting rights and things like that because you know how important it is for you to participate in in the voting process or in the whole electoral process or a whole political process. It's important for us, and we always are stressing social, political, economic power. If we're not speaking social, political, economic power, then a lot of the conversation we having, we just having them for fun, right? So Dr. Claude Anderson's conversation was powerful, but like I said, when we're using words like black, bliggity black, I'm black and I'm proud, right? It takes power from you and gives power to outside of the community, right? We're saying we're Americans. This is our country. We just have to start participating in our great country, y'all. Everybody else comes here and participates in our great country while we still sitting on the sidelines watching, cheering in the stands, literally. Okay? I mean, this is the thing that we got to stop doing. So we have an opportunity, y'all, to make history, to change, because there's so much work to be done. So I don't even understand why people act like, there's a problem. There's so much work to be done that it's incredible. So when we say all hands on deck, well, we need all hands on deck. And y'all understand people are reaching out and saying, man, we are artists. I'm a mathematician. You know what I'm saying? I mean, farmers. Shout out to Big Hawk. People have different businesses, dojos. I mean, we just got so many different things that we have to start investing our time, money, and energy into, and that's our community, right? So when Dr. Claude Anderson, who's been speaking about this for years, talks about the money circulating in the community, it never bounces around in our community. He said literally stays like 6 hours and bounces out. We have to talk about it. We don't have an infrastructure at all. And this reminds me of the brother and sister in Chicago that literally was saying, well, listen, we're gonna try to go every day for I don't know how long they were gonna do it, 90 days or something, where they were gonna try to only spend money with what they were saying, black businesses, okay? Getting gas, food, stuff like that, or whatever. So in Chicago. So they had to go like literally 40 minutes to go get gas. You know what I'm saying? And those are some things they had to do without because we don't own it, right? But this is a major city. This is Chicago. But this is every major city. You got Chinatown, but we don't have Aboriginal People's Town. And that's what we need to have, man. Shout out to People's Town, man. Shout out to Chihuahua, but yeah, that's what we need to have. Our own towns that are economically, what Dr. Claude Anderson said, communities and not neighborhoods, communities where you control the economics, the police. I don't know if you said that part, but definitely control the economics, control the police of your community. That makes you have a community. So I think these are things to talk about. Lotus, what do you think about that, bro? You, yeah, Lotus, you. I don't even think he in there, y'all. Uh, nah, I said you in there, Lotus. We get to say, man, shot great. Shout to Claude Emerson, man. He's definitely pushing to get his books in these schools. But guess what? As parents, we need to have these books in our homes, and we are the first teachers of our children. We shouldn't expect anybody to do anything for us and our children if we're not doing it. Well, we want to go get. Come on, like why if anybody was competing with you, if I'm competing with you, right, and I want to put you in kindergarten, I want to put you under a system that dumbs you down. Why would I help you uplift your mental or uplift your community? Why would I do that when I'm purposely, creating a situation where they call it the dialectic dialect when they create the situations, just say, oh, we're fixing by giving you welfare. You caused the famine. You caused, you know what I'm saying? You redistributing or misdistributing the wealth, right? So these are the things that got to stop happening. The gerrymandering of districts and all these other things, all the unfair treatment of things that are happening or have happened in America, they have to stop. It's un-American, and we cannot say, "Oh, this is a black thing." This is an American thing. Yeah, okay? It's an American thing, and that's what we got to focus on. Stop crying about color and all these things. Like I said, while they was working and looking for civil rights, they should have been going for economic rights. I mean, we had it. We shouldn't have given any of our economic base up, and we did, and that's a problem that we have to fix. Lotus, you back yet? So we talk about that a lot. That we have to focus on um, economics a little bit more than we do, y'all. Um, I think we focus on the other things too much, the things that don't matter, the colorism and stuff like that, whatever, as opposed to economics. So, like I said, a lot of great Jews.
Yo, we waiting for Chief to get back in. He must have got back in and then got back out. Had to step away for a moment. Let me see what I got for the family. Hold on, y'all. Give me a moment. All right, wait for Chief to get back in. Apologies for the family. D Brown, Mr. Brooklyn, funny. Oh man, yeah. There's other. It's also other books that touched on many things that Dr. Claude Anderson talked about, and some of them were very, very interesting. I had my hands on one, and unfortunately, I lost it. It was one of my mom's books. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to get it in the future. Called Populist Manifesto. Man, it's a very interesting book. Goes into the details of what Claude Anderson was saying, Dr. Claude Anderson, that is, and what's going on here, what's read so far, and what Chief was talking about pertaining to that matter. The family's waiting for Chief. I was planning on putting in about good more 30 more minutes. So waiting for our good brother to get back in. Let's see if we got some music for the family. Also, y'all go check out my channel, man. Lotus Television 2020. Really busting my channel out. That's going to be for those who are interested in some different type of sciences. Really don't like the word science or the word scientist, but you know what I'm saying, for those who understand and like to know more details, be dealing with a lot of things. I have a BBC special that I'll be putting out, and one that I created. So you'll get to watch what I'm allowed to share, and then later I will be producing my own presentation pertaining to all that which was shown in what I call Cogniti Fin, the center of fire. So I'll also be releasing that commercial again. And now I tried to put it out about a year ago, but things didn't work out. I didn't want to buy body. I wasn't trying to be in a. I was not trying to be a abiding by YouTube citizen. So now I know the parameters of all the ways to operate and do the things that I need to do to get the information out. So therefore, I will be representing good old Cogniti Fin and going in 2020. And we got our good brother Chief back in. I don't know how long you were out. I was watching on my phone, family. I had to take care of some stuff. Uh, Chat lit, they going in, family. All right, I got you in. I got you in, Chief.
Hey man, peace, brother. Better. So,
Peace. Yeah, we got you, man.
Lotus, what I missed? What I missed?
Oh, nothing. I just got back.
Let me check out the chat. We got Big Chief in the building. Why only the powerful elite and the ass kissing public can thrive here. I mean, this is the year that real, y'all. So this is the year that real gonna prevail this year, man. We got Chuck Jackson in the building. Big Uber Uber for my brother Chuck Jackson. We got Miss Gretchen Helm in the building. Peace, Empress. You can go check out originaltribalwear.com. Man, get you some Aboriginal gear, man, from Miss Mohawk Aboriginal, man. So it's originaltribalwear.com. Special right now. Purchase anything at originaltribalwear.com and you get a free t-shirt. So go check out Miss Mohawk at originaltribalwear.com. Coming the new year, man.
Yeah, Chief, what's wrong with your phone, bro? That should be cutting off in mid sentence. Damn, like an inkling notification of being cut off.
Okay, man, we back in here, man.
All right.
What's cracking though? What you got going on?
Oh, not much, man. I'm winding down now. And cut out again? Oh no, you still in.
Yeah, no, I'm right here. I'm going down the line in the chat room. Like I said, man, peace to all the great ones tuned in, man. Originaltribalwear.com. And then we got AmericanAboriginalShoes.com. Go check us out, man. If you haven't signed up for the Declaration of Reclamation, check that out. You know what I'm saying? Check out what we got going on at the council. You know, get any emails and things like that, whatever. Hit us up, man. I'll share the links in the chat room somewhere, man. Like I said, man, peace to everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Let me add something to the banner too.
What'd you say?
I forgot to put Dr. Claude Anderson's name in the banner. I'm tripping.
Oh yeah, man. He dropped it on the man. 98%, bro, was already here before anybody got here. Now he said, you know, a little something that they basically uh, uh, took the African out of us, but you know, we're not Africans. You know, that goes along with the out of Africa hypotheses, right? That has been debunked. We've been in the Americas for thousands, if not millions of years, right? So people be saying stuff, they don't have the science to back it up. So, you know, you know, like I said, it's a little tweaking, but that's where we come in at, you know what I'm saying? The Aboriginal Adjustment Bureau, you know what I mean? We come in and adjust stuff. So, like I said, black is not a word that we should be using in our vocabulary going into 2020. Period. We are Americans. We are the first Americans, and we have an agenda. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that's right.
The agenda is peace and prosperity, and keyword peace Other word, keyword, prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know who would be opposed to peace and prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that we need to be getting done ASAP, right? So we need to work on them right now. Like it's not we can't. It's time out for plans. Now it's time to start executing a lot of these talking points that people be talking for years, right? I'm sure Dr. Claude Anderson um, would like to see some of these things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our elders would like to see some of these things implemented. You know what I'm saying? Peace is the start. We don't have peace, we're not gonna be able to build shit. So yeah, kind of talk on that, brother, about peace, brother, and prosperity.
Well, I mean, that's the only way things are going to work if we have some peace and prosperity. I don't know what else on that. Besides, dealing with each other and even if we don't agree on everything with each other, just being peaceful about it. It really needs to start with the family, of course, and the prosperity. Of course, we have to be prosperous. I mean, we have to find our place and got to get to a point. I mean, but that is the starting point. Once we have peace and prosperity, we'll know exactly where to go. From there.
I mean, and that's what's going on with the hashtag America First Peace and Prosperity Conference, October 9th through 12th, man. Las Vegas, Nevada, man. It's gonna be a family reunion, a powwow, a carnival, a festival, just everything wrapped up in one, man. We're gonna have workshops. We're gonna be, it's gonna be just a cultural expression of brilliance of our people, man. So, like I said, man, we're gonna make history. It's gonna be the biggest conference of its kind. It's gonna be the first of its kind. Um, yeah, man. Like I said, we putting on for the city. We putting on for the country, man. We putting on for our people, and that's just what it is, y'all. So, shout out to all the great ones, man. That's tuned in, man. I don't know if y'all caught last night's show, man. The Sister Betty Love show. Tracing Your Lineage went
Yeah,
down last night. That was a great show. So if you haven't checked out, go back and check that out. Um, Man, just everything, man. We always got Jews, man, dropping Jews over here, man. Shout out to brother Jamal. Came through last night, dropping Jews. Atancha's one as usual,
yeah,
always dropping Jews. Shout out to Aboriginal Power came through.
that's right.
Uh, yeah, man. Peace to all the great ones, man, that come through, man, and lend us they energy. Type. Y'all don't have to be in here typing. You know how many damn channels it is on YouTube?
Yeah, so
So I'm honored that you guys are here. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor for us to serve you. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. So shout out to everybody, man, tuned in.
that's right, man. I love what you're doing. I love what y'all been doing too, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what it's about, man.
What
Like
about you?
we're gonna have vendor booths. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, it's just a cultural expression, man. And and like I said, we're inviting all. It's about everybody, y'all. It's the Aboriginal Peoples Day weekend, Las Vegas, Nevada, man. We're gonna make history, man. 2020. That's October 9th through the 12th. It's going down. Be there, be square. How about that? Oh, and then the tour, promotional tour, man, coming to a city near you,
Right.
man. So we definitely gonna be hitting up America, man. So if you guys are interested in being a sponsor and being a part of the tour, organizing the tour, getting on the tour, hit me up at cheapholiday@gmail.com. And as usual, man, support the real, man. I don't know what more to say, man. Um, you know, people have made comments where they trying to sell T-shirts while they wearing a polo shirt. You know what I'm saying? Where they trying to sell
Right.
shoes while they wearing Adidas and Nikes. You know what I'm saying? We don't. We own these companies right here, so we not. And so we're gonna support us. So that's what it's about, man. So like I said, man, be on the lookout for more history making going on, man, in 2020. That's all we can say, man. We just dropping more history, man, for 2020. We're gonna try to outdo this year. You know what I'm saying? We
That's
wake
right.
up every day like, man, we're gonna outdo yesterday. Feel me? So Yeah, man. Peace to all the good ones, man. Shout out to Libra Son. He always dropping it. Big bro always dropping it in there, man. So peace to the God, man.
Oh yeah, definitely looking forward to that. You, where's the All Star game going to be at again? I remember you said that you're going to be in
That's
a tour.
Chicago, yeah. Second weekend of February. So we're gonna be out there All Star Week. So we're gonna be out there that week, man. Putting in work up there in Chicago, y'all. So shout out to the Windy City, to the city.
So some big things happening out there in Chicago next year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man. Like I said,
and
man,
that's one of them.
we pushing peace and prosperity, man. So that's what it's really about. Shout out to New Era out there, man. New Era Chicago, New Era Detroit. So yeah, man. Like I said, man, it's really that's what it's really about, man. It's about these babies, man, and really, uh, loving on your people, man. So that's what it's really about. But we can't come with just rhetoric. You got to come with real programs and real solutions, and that's what this is about. And as usual, like we say, man, this is a solution based platform. Tribe Up, and Chief Holiday, Lotus Civilization TV, Libra Sun. I mean, did any Sister Bethy Love, anything that's anybody that's associated with us, man. We are dedicated to to um, to solutions, man, and fixing the problems of our people and believing something for the next generation, man. So that's what the First American Council is about. It's about having our own. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's really about. So you feel a way about it, compete. Do your council should be putting in work as well. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? So that's how that works. And we support everybody. So why would we support other Indians, in their councils and stuff like that? So that doesn't make any sense, man. So yeah, man. So peace and love to everybody, man. Like we in the building. We gonna play any music tonight?
Oh yeah,
Is that right?
gotta pull it up. Gotta pull it up. Still got everything. All the good music.
Word. Want to hit it with know that I did it. If we go first, still working on this project, man. This Cowboys and Indians project, man. So it'll be dropping this spring, hopefully, y'all. So this is gonna be the first single though off the project. First single, just in general, man. Shout out to my OG. Shout out to Jazzy Tuck. Shout out to Purple Panthers Entertainment, man. Be on the lookout for that. Yeah, man. Rest in paradise, man. All the people that made the transition this year, man. You know what I mean. So rest in paradise to them, man. Like I said, man. We all. That's one thing that's guaranteed, man. That we all gonna check out of here one day. Like I said, what are you gonna leave? As your legacy, man. So so we got going on, man. Like we want to actually leave something for the next generations, man. We want to leave a legacy of winning as opposed to a legacy of losing. It's time out for that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. I mean, like I said, man, his conversation, his demeanor, just his zeal, right? At 85 years old, man, it inspires me as a younger man. It inspires me. You know what I'm saying? So when I see that, it's okay. I ain't gonna critique him down to the dirt with, diminish his greatness, right? You know what I'm saying? So we supposed to be able to help him. So man, shout out to Dr. Clyde Anderson, man. Like I said, man, it's time out for all the division though too. I know we don't all see the eye to eye, but I don't think that the foundational Black Americans and the ADOS, the American descendants of slaves, and then you got you know in Cobra, and you guys would be strong if y'all work together, right? The old with the young, you know what I'm saying? Because you got old and you got younger energy. So I wouldn't, like I said, man, like I was critical on the ADOS, because of slavery, because of the word slavery, but I'm bigger than just a word spell. You know what I'm saying? To see the good that can come out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is, man. So people say, well, they started that just to derail the Aboriginal community. Nah, they can't derail something because you know how like they say that old saying they say the devil plan, but God is the ultimate planner. I probably butchered that, but y'all understand what I'm saying. So we are gods, Let's act like gods, man. Let's take our legacy back, man. Let's take our respect back globally. You know what I'm saying? But it starts locally first, man. So that's where we going, man. What you got, Lotus?
Yeah, hold on, I'm playing it right. About to get it right now.
Yeah, man. Know that I did it, man. My OG, Purple Panthers Entertainment. Uh, yeah, man. D Town, man. Texas in the building. Bonton, stand up, man. We got Brian, Texas, man. Not Brian, Texas. Man, we in the building, man. Let's take
Oh
this thing.
shit, way back. Yeah, after digging all my archives. Okay, there go that one. All right, there we go.
Yeah, man. I mean, anybody's an artist, man, producer, aspiring artists, aspiring producers, singers, dancers, whatever your talents are. Yeah, but hit that like button too, man. I don't know, if it matters. They say it does, so let us know that you don't hate us, man. So like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell another friend. You know how they do, man. Bring a friend to church with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is a family thing, man. This is a thing. The more people hear this information that's coming, from over here, man. This is changing. This is changing the game. Let's just be clear. Now you see Tariq Nasheed waving the American flag, and so we're looking around like, what the hell is going on? It's real, y'all. Like, just really tapping into our Americanness. You know what I'm saying? Being um, American supremacists. You know what I'm saying? That's all I could say. And there's no disrespect to nobody else, but we every other country and every other people. You know what I'm saying? They big up their country and they big up their shit. So that's all we doing, man. It's America first, man. It's really about America. And listen, yeah, we got to be open minded, man, to talk to everybody. Whether it's the Republicans, we can't say, oh, we only can talk to Democrats. And y'all look like puppets. Y'all look like damn fools only talking to Democrats. Dr. Claude Anderson said, hey, man, buy all politicians. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter about the party. It's the two, a bird, was it feathers, bird of the same feather, some shit. Whatever. Y'all follow me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be butchering up, little saying, but y'all get what I'm saying though. Hey, Lotus, man, whenever you're ready, man, just let me know.
All right, I got it up running now.
All right, let's go, man. Mile G, know that I did it, man. First single off this Cowboys and Indians, and not off rap money, man. So let's get it. Let's go.
I gotta have it. So I'ma go get it. You're talking about money, you know that I'm with it. 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 I had a couple big felonies, but I gotta quit it. And I gotta admit it. They know that I did it. You know that I did it. She know that I did it. Hey, lick it, stick it, hit it. I hit it and quit it. You can dig it, hey, cause that's how I did it, hey. It's all about money, power, and respect. Yeah, I got a little, I'm not the big or the little man, I'm the one in the middle. Yeah, the one in the middle. I'm that one in the middle. Ever told the one in the middle. That nigga that never fuck my niggas hoe, never ran off. I never stole, cast out every load. Real niggas really hold. I got robbed by my plug and I got set up by my man. Nigga came in shooting, I ain't even understand. I ain't never took a stand. I ain't never said a word about a duck or a bird, about a truck on a curb. I done struck every nerve. Nigga, fuck what you heard. I done sold everything. Mary Jane, cocaine, pretty dames to a lane, 20 things on the train. Way too much to explain. I got the game in my pocket. I turn. Bought me a chain and a locket. Peep this good game from a prophet. It ain't no way you can stop it. I'm like that flame on a rocket. Put that on Jesus Christ, Buddha, Dalai Lama, and Elijah Muhammad. I am a son. I gotta have it. So I'ma go get it. I'ma go getting a bunch of money. You know that I'm with it. Yeah, you know that I'm with it. You know that I'm with it. I had a couple big felonies, but I gotta quit it. And I gotta admit it. They know that I did it. She know that I did it. Hey, now she wanna lick it, quick and it. I know you can dig it, cause that's how I did it. Partner by the name of God, so that nigga is solid. That nigga hop straight up, went back to college. Now he got the knowledge. Now we got the knowledge. Talking big money. The women and weed is exotic. Yeah. We so more dope than the CVS. And my baby mama CTS. Got my decoy in the DTS. Getting followed by the DPS. We do not broadcast to the public, or we do not work for no PBS. Know some bitches who be snatching kids. They do not work for the CPS. My GPS is a BCS. But on a cool, you gon' see me less. If you see me, I be with my kids and you gon' see me blessed and never see me stressed. I am the OG of rapping, been rapping since yes. I don't need him at the rock jury. Still I'ma shine like a VVS. I put the L in cheddar. I put the L in dollar. I put the L in better. I put the L in scholar. Look, I got to go back to Stella. Look, watch when I leave, they gon' follow. Yeah, I got the hood by the collar. Look, don't swallow. I am Kamala. I gotta have it. So I'ma go get it. You're talking about going getting a bunch of money. You know that I'm with it. Yeah, you know that I'm with it. You know that I'm with it. I had a couple big felonies, but I gotta quit it. And I gotta admit it. They know that I did it. You know that I did it. She know that I did it. Hey, now she wanna lick it, quick and sticky. I hit it and quit it. I know you can dig it. Cause that's how I did it.
That right. That my OG.
Yeah, man. Purple Panthers. My OG. Know that I did it. Yeah, man. Man, shout out to American music, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I know Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about resources, right? And a lot of times, man, when we talking about resources, that seems big. You know what I'm saying? But think about this, right? The Las Vegas Mopa Peyote Indians, right? Right here in Las Vegas, right? The Southern Coyotes, right, are getting into harnessing the sun. That is a resource. So this is a resource that this state needs because it buys energy from other places. Okay, so not only can they provide energy for themselves, their tribe, but now they can enrich themselves off of selling um the sun, the energy that they're harnessing. So I think that's a great idea.
God damn. Oh, Chief Line got zapped again. That's weird. I got kicked out 2 times. All right, here we go. We got Chief back.
Yeah, maybe knock me out.
Yeah, they knocked me out twice.
Yeah, I must be really driving something, man. So, hey, man, like we saying, man, it's really if we sitting back and just watching, other people, and we just hating, we're not, applying some of the things that other communities are doing. That's good. The one thing is you're not hearing about a lot of, they were having these type of Asian on Asian crime, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Most crime is economically based in the first place. Everybody knows this. This is, you know what I'm saying? It's economically based. Most crimes, and I'm not saying all crimes, but most crimes are economically based. And if you're in an economic um, depressed state, you're going to have crime in that state. No matter who you are, what the situation is, where you're at, you're going to have hopelessness and desperation. So in America, that needs to be eradicated. It should not exist in America. We don't actually don't even need a poor class. Or like I said, I don't agree with everything. You know what I'm saying? And I understand what he was saying, but we do not need a, a underclass, a poor class. We don't need that in order for this system to work. Right? They think that in order for them to maintain their power, that you have to have poor people involved in the situation. I don't think that has to happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, people, you see affluent communities all over the place. Other people come into the community and work for these people, but once again, you're providing jobs and other things, whatever, to enrich other people. Why would you have to have this kind of system in place anywhere where you have to have classes? You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't believe in social. I believe that, some people are a little bit more talented than other people or whatever. Then, if people are working more together, right? And that's what we're talking about, working together. So when we're talking peace, with peace comes unity. With these things come prosperity. Like that's how they work. Like nobody's gonna build anything in nowhere where people are shooting people at. Like why would you build there? Like who wants to do that, right? And so a lot of times it takes the men within the communities to change the conditions that's going on in the community and really start investing back in the community. Now, this might be giving up some stuff or whatever, but these are the things that need to manifest themselves. So I would say it, right? When we're talking about tax breaks and being tax exempt, if somebody is rebuilding up the inner cities and stuff like that or whatever, I'm sure that they're getting tax credit. Hey, uh, companies, if you come into this area right here, whatever, we'll give you tax breaks, right? Mayors do this, governors do this, presidents do this, whatever. Then they can absolutely do it for the depressed people in the community. So when you're talking about getting these politicians get things written down, what you're going to do. We've had 8 years of a motherfucker not doing nothing at all for us. So why would we turn around and even entertain anybody, right? We need to be asking Trump, who's in office now, instead of being emotional about the Klan shit, that's dumb and all that dumb stuff. We need to be getting to the business. He's a businessman. Let's talk business. Do you or do you not want to stop the crime and the hopelessness and certain things that's going on in America? Yes, you do. Okay, well then with these resources, these things, these policies need to happen in these communities. So if you invest, if businesses, if people invest into the communities that have been raped, scorched, burned earth, and left, and they're still taking out the resources out as we speak right now today. In the inner city of Baltimore, they're sending the money outside into other jurisdictions. You know what I'm saying? But the people in Baltimore, even though they don't own anything, right, they're still paying a lot of tax money into the tax code. That money needs to stay within, at least within where it came from. Like, how is this a thing? Like, how are we even having these kind of conversations? And you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, we got an organization and everything that we're doing to build, and somebody's in with their hand in our pocket, taking the resources out and taking and putting it into some other community. We wouldn't allow that as an organization. We're gonna be like, nah, that's some bullshit, right? So how do we stop this from happening? How, if these people are taking taxes from us, how do we stop from having to pay these people from taking these resources from our people, which we can be putting these resources back into the community? Period. And so that's what we on, man. We on empowerment, peace, and prosperity. So if you're not with that, I don't know what else to tell you. What do you what do you need to do? I don't know, but what we're doing is organizing, mobilizing, executing plans, executing things that need to be done, right? So now, like I said, a lot of these things, that Dr. Claude Anderson was saying, some of them are gonna have to happen interchangeably at the same time, right? But I get what he's saying when he's talking about levels, and he's saying that the last level will be education. Well, I don't even think you can get to any of these levels if you don't have the right education. We have to educate our children at home. Period. If you have to send them to school and everything or whatever, that's more of an economic conditioning as well. That's more of a social engineering as well, that we feel that we have to go warehouse our children right into the prison, to the school to prison pipeline, or their factories was sending them into to play basketball for somebody, football for somebody, playing for somebody, or working in somebody's factory, working in somebody's office. So never talking about uplifting yourself, your family, and your community, right? How many cookies have you sold fundraising for the school? How many, you know what I'm saying, candy bars and all these different things that we have done to support their industry, their institutions that are indoctrinating our people. Okay. So these are the things that need to be changed. And I mean, I don't know. Like, the education has to be on the first floor. Even shit, before you can get to the first floor of this building, like I said, these are the tweaks that might have to happen. Dr. Anderson, and he'll tell you, man, he got all these degrees, but he let you know that these things didn't help him and didn't help our people. And that's a damn shame. If we got all this education and none of these things can help our people, I think that's crazy. What do you think about that? What do you think about people getting these degrees and things, and they really can't do anything for our people, brother? What do you think about
I think that should be a slap in the face to all the people running around using this word scholar, talking about peer review, talking about, I went to this school, so now I'm an authority figure. That should be the biggest slap in each and every one of their faces. Yeah, 6 degrees. Almost said 60. 6 degrees. Do you think he is in debt to schools for those degrees? Nope. Yeah, 6 degrees. And many run around waving these degrees as if it's some type of rite of passage to tell me something. And he said that those are just tools. It's not even like the important thing, they're just tools. And you need to know how to use your tool. It's like having a tool. That tool is going to work on what it's designed to work for. So you get this tool and you use it to the best of its ability. But yeah, it's definitely man, it's definitely a slap in the face for all those people running around, especially the naysayers. Oh, look, the scholar said this. So what you're saying is incorrect because the scholar said it. Well, I say that scholar has a tool, and if that tool is not in whatever talking about, because that person can talk about whatever, but on topic, utilizing those tools. You get one of these tools or degrees, say, in business, is to utilize business. Not get into one business, learn the business period, how all business works. So we got to use it. We got to utilize these tools to the best of its ability. Some people, you know, get the degree and they settle, and they still settle for working for someone else. Don't be a boss. Be a leader. So when you're in that position where people actually call you boss, it will be a we thing, not an I thing. When it comes to that, something I got from good brothers and sisters in the debate league recently about that. That's pertaining to this, and now that I see this a slap in the face to a lot of people who call themselves scholars and all that, that it's time that we ask them who have these tools, like let's utilize this. Let's get it to the best of our ability. How can we all benefit? How can we help? How do we all get these tools without owing all this money, like getting a tool, but you just rented the tool? So if you go get a degree, but you owe the school all this money and you can't pay that money, do they come take your degree away? Does the IRS or the repo come take your tool away? Something to think about when it comes to that. It's complicated when you have to pay a certain amount in order to receive that degree. You have a commercial where the person graduating is like at a ticking, like when you get a ticket and you're getting on the subway. This commercial is hilarious because it's literally how it is now. It's a money thing when it comes to this degree. But when you get it, use it to the best ability. People get that degree. Like, I got this degree, and they go get a job for 20 years. Take it to the max. You know what I'm saying? To the max. Family. That's all I got, man. I'm down here about to pass out.
Yeah, man, we can go ahead and shut this thing down, y'all. Yeah, Lotus. That's what's up, man. Like I said, man, it was a good build, man. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. Like I said, man, I don't. There's so much, we missed, in the interview. I want to miss anything important. Like I said, the importance of the peace and prosperity conference, man. The tour, the tour for me is, obviously promo. We're doing radio promotions. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine the people haven't heard this information before? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's your local mom and pop, grocery stores, if there are any, just to see what's the infrastructure that's left from previous, our previous, basically like some communities, we were established in some of these communities, and we had all these different things like cab companies, like bus line. They said they had 500 buses, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
we could have 5,000 by this point right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was something that Charlamagne asked him. He said, "What couldn't you guys have went down to and loaned, Martin Luther King him some buses down?" And Jordan, he was like, "Yo, we were a little bit more, they were said they were struggling themselves. You know what I'm saying, to stay afloat. So because of different families that were part and owned the bus line and stuff like that or whatever. So man, can y'all imagine that we never had lost our economic base, that we kept building? And I used the Negro League, like I don't like watching baseball, for instance, right? But guess what? Our baseball league is entertaining because we're entertaining people. You know what I'm saying? And we did shows and different things like that. We gathered, and people were also, like information was being circulated. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, not only what I'm saying, from these teams and from these people traveling around and coming and going to different places, visiting, doing certain things, whatever. People got to, a lot of information travel around. You know what I'm saying? But the economics. Can you imagine? Not only the Negro leagues, but the hotels and all these other things. So you know what I'm saying? The restaurant would have still been economically in the Aborigines' hands. That's important. So when we did the fucking how to sell to a Negro, like this is real. Like the whole world knows how to sell to us except us. That's dumb. Like it doesn't even make any sense at all, y'all. Zero. When you look up into the stadiums and the basketball thing, even though that's primarily us playing and this our sport, right? Something we invented. They're in the stadium. Why? What's going on? What is going on that we don't know? What's going on? What's going on within this their community, their camaraderie? You know what I'm saying? Yo, and I heard this is a sidebar. I heard Kaepernick shoes sold out in minutes. What you think? What you think about this, bro? What's going on? What the hell's going on, y'all? What the hell is going on?
Happening. I didn't even know he had shoes. Damn.
Oh
Really
yeah,
got
that's
back.
Air Force One edition, the Colin Kaepernick edition. Now look, granted that I'm sure like the thing that Nike do y'all, they will under um produce a shoe or even hold a shipment out, right? To make it to create that illusion. They want to keep the demand going. So we're not gonna really fall for it sold out in minutes, y'all. So I don't want to be that guy, y'all. I kind of want to always, you know, let people know the real. Like so that's real. However, it's still a demand for Colin Kaepernick shoe, and it sold out in minutes, brother, according to them. So like I said, I just wanted to break that down, y'all. Like I don't know if you're never gonna hear that anywhere else, but you already hear like like they do not produce enough shoes or make these shoes available to keep the demand higher than the supply. You guys understand? So that's just what that. So Lotus, man, let's go ahead, Brad. Let's go ahead and shut this thing down, yo. And we'll be back tomorrow, y'all. We're gonna get it in. Um, we're gonna get in with the short boy shorties, man. It's a lot going on over in the Pan African community, y'all. So, as usual, man, you have a boat sinking, a ship sinking, just let it sink, you know what I'm saying? But, we're gonna have to at least watch it though, y'all. Eat some popcorn or something, man. So talk about it. So there's a lot going on within the Pan African community, y'all. So I know they're losing people by the day because you know what thing that people are doing? When you're talking foundational Black Americans, when you're talking ADOS, right? They're searching their lineage. They don't, and right now, niggas don't even want to be from Africa. Niggas don't even want to be from nowhere but Alabama. They don't even want to be from Mississippi. They don't, I mean, not Mississippi. They don't want to be from Jamaica, nowhere. Niggas is like, man, like this, like it's a trendy thing to be an American right now. Whether you call yourself a native Black American, it doesn't matter. Like you're transitioning. You know what I'm saying in your understanding, like spiritually, mentally. You know what I'm saying. Like people are growing. I think that's a wonderful thing. So when the devil's planning, we're planning even harder, and we execute these plans. So that's just what it is, man. And I heard somebody say yesterday, don't say the plans until you already have done them and stuff like that. That's facts. I absolutely agree. So I'm gonna take that advice wholeheartedly. Um, we're just gonna keep grinding, y'all. We're gonna keep building. That's all we can say, man. Support the real. So I can say, man, Lotus, you got anything else to say before we get up out here? Lotus, you sleep? Uh-oh. Lotus. So yeah, man, I think Lotus he won. He said he's about to pass out. I think we lost Lotus, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and go shut it down. Let me see the chat. The hyena chief in the building. Olit, Ocio, Halito. We got grassroots truth in the building. Had all the resources possible during so-called Great Depression, right after so-called slavery. Yeah, I mean they say that the Reconstruction, right? Think about this Reconstruction. Like, wait a minute, who constructed the first stuff that was torn down, so you can reconstruct it, right? Just think about that, and just look at that in Washington D.C. with the White House, right? Who built the first one, and then when they tore that down, who reconstructed it? Okay, let's just say that. Let's go to they'd be like they were slaves. And like niggas wasn't even slaves, man. Like this shit be crazy, y'all. So they just be saying a lot of stuff, man. Uh, uh yeah. All right, Hyena said check me out, bro. And leave me a comment. Okay, I got you. I'll definitely do that, bro. Come check you out. Y'all man, go subscribe to everybody, man. Channel. You know what I'm saying? Go subscribe to Hyena Chief. Whoever does videos, man, like we don't mind. You know, us promoting, us people that look out for us, man. Shout out to Julie Carey in the building. Purple Panthers, awesome. Yeah, yeah, red and blue make purple fist. Negro Indian situation going to be carefully examined. Real idiots try to keep. Furland, I think it's further thing that's first. All right, shout out to Miss Gretchen Down. Check your emails, information concerning the upcoming America First Peace and Prosperity Conference. That's right. You know, if you guys are part of the mailing list on the First American Council, man, we got an introduction letter, email. Shout out to Mama Bear in the building. Peace Empress. We got Miss Mohawk Aboriginal in the building. Once again, go to originaltribalwear.com. I don't know if you guys can put that link in the chat room. Originaltribalwear.com, man. Go get you some feathers, hat, t-shirts, something. If anything that you buy, anything that you purchase at originaltribalwear.com, get a free t-shirt for the holidays. So shout out to Miss Mohawk. But I'm sure, I don't know if that's still going on. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, because it's the holidays. So-called Christmas. But I don't know if that's running into that. So, Ms. Mohawk, can you let me know about that if you're still doing that promotion or not? I want to keep promoting that, and people be like, "Hey, I need my free T-shirt." So, shout out to Ms. Mohawk. What's we got in the building? Kawa Yeshua in the building. Osio Kawa, Dion Williams, Dion Osio. Thank you for coming out. Raven Hawk. Halitos. Yeah, shout out to Ravenhall, man. Thanks for coming out. Future Teller in the building. Salute. What's the guy in here? D Brown. Hey D Brown, I got you, man. I'm definitely gonna call you tomorrow, brother. Definitely give you a call tomorrow. I don't know if you got my email. Email me at chiefholiday@gmail.com. I'll send you my phone number tonight. I will. Yeah. So we got a building. Before we get up out of here, y'all. Sammy in the building said, I just gonna sing right through all this dead air. Okay, yeah, man, sorry about that, man. Y'all, we had a little technical difficulties going on. We got together though, so shout out to Sammy, man. He was singing. We probably need to have some music playing or something like at least when that happened, like we got something going on in the background. We have to work that out. We're gonna get a call in number 2, man, and get that going too. So if people just want to call in, don't necessarily want to be a part of the panel and stuff like that. We're gonna have a call in line. Call in and let us know how y'all feel about what's going on. We got legendary Top Cats in the building. Peace. Supposed to get out of here. I think that's it right there, y'all. Or I can scroll back and say peace and love to everybody. We got Marlon Pierre in the building. Okay, I'll do that, bro. I will definitely send you that video. Yeah, that's about it, yeah. So like I said, we got Rick Ross. Why 50 Cent can't do me like Ja Rule from Pahokee, Florida. Shout out to Pahokee, Florida, man. Yeah, that's what's up, yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. So we gonna get up out of here, y'all. Yeah, that's about it, man. That's all we got for tonight. Talk to you guys later. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna do an early show tomorrow. We're gonna start getting ready for this Tribe Up Sports News and Entertainment morning show that we're gonna start doing, y'all. So we just kind of get into, like this right here, Dr. Claude Anderson. This is 98% of Black Americans were here before anyone else got here. I don't know if that's the correct thing, here before anyone else. Yeah, I don't know if that's the correct. It could have been. He could have said it just like that, y'all. So shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. But the 98%, he said Black Americans, y'all. And he said Native Black Americans. That's what he uses. And Tariq Nasheed, more Native Black Americans, the foundational Black Americans. So foundational Black Americans, y'all, mean Native Black Americans, right? Meaning 98% of us that are here right now that are classified as African Americans or misclassified as African Americans are technically the actual natives of this land. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind, man. Listen, Dr. Claude Anderson has not only the age, right? Because imagine this, he knew his grandmother. Okay, maybe even his great grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So he has like a little bit more experience about that. But then when we're talking about just experience within the highest levels of government, that cannot be like he was behind the doors. He's not like a regular guy within these organizations. We're talking about these just the White House and stuff like that, or whatever. He wasn't like an aide. He was the man. Some of these guys are even more powerful than actual presidents and people like that or whatever. So yeah, like I said, I would love to have a conversation with him off the record. You know what I'm saying? In private, because I know some things that we could learn. He could tell us that he literally can't tell us. On air. So I I I account a lot of that as well because he understands where he's at and he don't want to jeopardize. Like he said, he told Charlamagne that he loved them and he was going to protect them. So so meaning he could have came on there and put them in a fucked up position. Y'all understand what I'm saying? With their bosses. Okay, you don't want to fuck off of it, you know what I'm saying, stuff. So we always got to think about that too, y'all. So yeah, man, like I said, man, we just got to keep pushing, y'all, and just keep being the clean glass of water that the world needs, y'all. So yeah, man, peace and love to everybody, man. Get up out of here. Lotus, you there? Make sure Lotus gone, y'all. All right, man. Get up out of here. Hold on a second.